Hey guys.
Hey.
Back again. We're so much closer to Project Fenrir, the ultimate XJ overhaul being finished. Both axles are actually at least underneath it. We've gotten that far. Frame stiffeners are done. We're fixing to put it back on the ground. And then when we get it back on the ground, we'll get the...
We're gonna drive it and then we'll figure out some other stuff.
The sliders. We gotta do the sliders.
We're gonna drive it because it's been on jack stands for like ever.
Okay.
Anyway, today is gonna be a lot of assembly.
Yeah.
We've got both axle shafts for the front to put new U-joints in. We got new ball joints to put in. Then put the rest of the front axle together. We're also going to actually center the rear axle the best we can and make the control arms. If we have a great day or a great session day, whatever, like we did last time. So we're shooting for the moon. We'll fall amongst the stars, but we're gonna get to work.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, boys and girls. We are going to put U-joints in our axle shafts. Now, the part number for Moog, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced a few different ways. Is 377. Not 365, not 269. Ask me how I know. 377 is the right ones, supposedly. They fit a whole lot better. So we're gonna pop them in. These are greasable, so slide that in. That's how easy it should go together. Yep.
And if you need to know how, you pull the ends off, you put it in the U, and then you put both caps in it, back in it. And be careful not to lose all the little needle bearings in there.
Not to knock them over. There's that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. There. There's one.
Uno más. Better. You got a little good.
U-joints are done. Well, we gotta put the one more grease third in, but then U-joints are done. All right, guys, so the next part we're gonna do is the ball joints. So this is putting it back together. We've already beat them out, so there's not a whole lot to show there. I think we got some of it on camera, but this is just the rebuild of the front axle. If you need a more in-depth on the ball joints, I actually have one that I did on my Gladiator, and we can put the link in the description so that you can do that if you're looking for ball joints. But otherwise, we're just gonna put them in. Remember, you should always do your bottom first, and the reason you should do bottom first is because the stem of your press actually has to go through the top one in order to push the bottom one in. So that's just the big important thing to remember. So,
And anti-seize.
Anti-seize, lots of anti-seize. So something else to keep in mind. So when I did do mine, it always said to keep the grease zerk towards the front. So that just helps keep things aligned, my assumption. All right, guys. So we're just going to continue the assembly. We've got our knuckle that we're going to get seated on. Man, that's so much easier to slide in there because the sleeve that's in there. So one of the things that we had to do is we have to weld on our track bar mounting plate. So we just welded it on. We didn't show any of the welding, but not very many people are going to have to do this unless you have this. But next we're going to put on the track bar and put it on its own weight on the front. Okay guys, so we've got the axle centered, and I'm going to show you how we did that. It took us a little bit of math. That's why we didn't kind of put it on camera, because it was kind of a back and forth, and, you know, honestly, we had to ask Google for, you know, some fractions and math and all that good stuff. So anywho, nonetheless, so we've actually got us like a little plumb bob. We've tied it up here, and this is kind of our center line that we were talking about. So we've got everything all attached except the control arms, and we found the very center of the axle, and we've pushed it till the line met up with the center of the axle. Now, once we did that, our way of measuring, we took a framer square and we put it up against this. So we've got a flat surface, right? We have a flat surface and we have a place to measure. So we measured from the edge of the coil mount out to where our flat surface met, right there. Well, we got that number, and we went to the other side, and we got the number over there, and we were actually off by an entire inch. So we had to knock it back a ½ inch. Well, once we knocked it back a ½ inch, our numbers came out, and they were even on both sides. So now we know the axle is centered this way. We also know the axle is centered front to back. So now that we've got all that set, we've measured from eye hole to hole, center of hole to center of hole. We got our number for our control arms. So ours, I'm not going to say yours is going to be the same because your lift may vary, all that good stuff. But ours was 35 3/8 inch was our number. And that's what we will make our hole to hole on our control arms. So we're going to go get those cuts, which will show you the process of cutting and welding and getting all the pieces in it and all that. But that's where we're at right now, is we've measured our lower control arms so that we can get them in.
Alrighty guys, so these are the heims for the lower control arms. According to the directions, when you screw your nuts on, they should be 1 inch from the end.
1 inch worth of thread.
Yeah, 1 inch worth of thread. And that one's the same way. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, you have a left, which is marked by the chip in the edge of it. And on your receiving piece, I can't think of
sleeve.
On the piece that goes in the sleeve, it has a groove in it. That is all your left hand. Your right hand has nothing on it. You can see the notch and the groove. Once that's done, the next thing you have to do is measure to see how long your tube is. Once the vehicle is on its own weight and you take and measure from center of bolt hole on your bracket on the frame to center of bolt hole on the bracket on the axle. You write that number down. Then, when you get your joints put together, you come over, and the way we did it is we just set our joints up on the tabletop to the same exact measurement. Okay? Then, we come in and we measured from the shoulder of one to the shoulder of the other and got our measurement. For us, that measurement is 26 3/4. Okay, so now we got our mark, our blade on our brand new, what is this, Bauer Power chop saw, and we gonna make a whole bunch of sparks and cut it. Oh. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let her rip, tater chip. Square cut.
It looks that way.
All right, and then we're gonna bevel it. We got a bevel. Bevel, bevel, bevel. We ain't gonna make you watch the second one. We'll show you what it looks like when we get them stuck together and tacked up to put them under the Jeep.
All right, this is where we're at. So we've got them put in. They've got that bevel that we're going to weld to on both sides. We went ahead and pulled out the heim joints because you don't want them to heat up. But all you do is just put a nice little weld all the way around and let them cool and paint them. So Patrick's working on getting ready to weld.
I'm gonna also try and make me a ground.
Here's a sneak peek for next week. What is it? What could it possibly be? All right, guys. So we made it pretty far, not as far as we wanted. But those are done. And I know you can't see them, but they just got welded and they're hot and I'm not grabbing them. But those are the lower control arms.
Lower control arms are measured, cut, and welded. They're ready to go in. We got the rear axle centered.
And on its own weight.
You know, after a mishap. We got the
front is completely put together. All we gotta do is put tires on it.
Yes, and then...
And brakes. Oh, brakes and tires. But
brakes and tires, or the new brake pads.
Yeah, the new brake pads.
Tires, and then... Yep. So that, I guess, really all that leaves for next week is upper and lower...
upper control arms.
Well, we got to put in the lowers, but...
Yeah.
Finish the control arms in the rear. EVAP canister relocation.
And battery box.
Battery box.
And then it's ready to go on the ground. It's ready to drive.
Well, then we got to tighten everything up.
Well, tighten everything up, put fluids in, all that stuff. But that'll be boring for them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that finishes it up.
Yeah.
For phase one.
Phase one. Because we still got to do the sliders.
Sliders, the chop.
And the chop, yeah.
And
which all that stuff can be done while it's on the ground.
That stuff over there that we ain't said out loud. To go with the other new tool we have that we ain't tried out yet.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, got a new tool?
Yeah.
It's getting an exo cage.
Yeah.
So, you know, why we're trying all the things for the first time.
Yep. That'll be part of phase two. So everything on the bottom side was phase one. Everything on the top side is going to be phase two.
Yeah. Basically from the bottom of the door down was phase one. The bottom of the door up, or, you know, a quarter inch above the bottom. Well, you got to make a difference somewhere.
Yes.
Up will be exo cage, so some stuff's got to change and happen, and it's going to be fun. Paul, if you're watching this, I'll be thinking of you when I'm doing all my theoretical angles. If you know about that, you know about that, and if not, well...
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Anywho, guys.
It's been a day.
Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Yep. And we'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Bye, guys.